Hi, Ryan, Bobby, and Tony. I love boys who play with action figures and collect toys.
Good evening, everybody. How are you? Hope everyone's doing good on this beautiful Saturday evening. It's really windy here. If I lose power or internet, if I disappear, you'll know why. So happy to see everyone. Hello, chat. Oh, look at this. Look who's here. Hello, Sal.
Oh my God.
Whoa. That
Don't worry,
voice.
if you lose power, I'll make sure to scare everyone off. I'll
Ooh.
keep it going.
Cheers.
That bullshit.
It's been a while. How you been, Sal?
It has been a while. I've been. Let me tell you, I've been. I've had some surgeries since last I was here. I've completely quit vaping. I'm not on nicotine anymore.
Turn the innie to an outie.
Yeah, it's I quit in December, so like 4 months now, roughly.
Oh, okay. I was talking the surgery, but
well, I mean, you know, that's. Don't look at my forearms. They took the skin away.
Oh, gotcha. I quit vaping. Now, you were stuck on that thing for a long time. Joe Fest was like constant vape clouds in my face the whole time.
Yeah, I never realized. So I went and visited Michael and Melinda back in August, September last year, right? And so in someone else's home or whatever, like I go outside to vape. In my place, I would just vape in here. But it's like, oh, it's someone else's home, even though it's it's water vapor. I'm gonna go outside and be polite, all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But to maximize my time with them, I didn't really go outside and vape very often. So this is all culminated into something, I promise. But I would go out and I would hit a vape in the morning and my fingers would be tingling. Like I'd feel it all over my body. I'm like, oh, this is the nicotine high I'm supposed to feel. I never felt that in 10 years because it was a constant chug. Like I never left that. So I just got used to it. And that was a big indicator. Like I should probably just quit. This is not good. This is bad. So I quit.
Well, you're looking good. You feel healthy? You feel good?
Yeah, but I also go to the gym like 4 times a week. So
awesome.
Yeah, not now. I'm post eye surgery, so if people watch me put a little eye patch on, that's why. But part of my post op is I'm not allowed to lift anything over 10 pounds for 2 weeks.
Because your eye might pop out.
Yeah, I guess capillaries and all that, and strength and all that, which makes getting out of bed really interesting because I just have to let the schmeat fall on the ground and drag behind me. Can't pick it up more than 10 pounds.
Ooh. Hey, let's say hi to everyone in the chat. How about that?
All right.
You want to do that?
Let's
go
do
ahead.
it.
I'll wait.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm kidding. M Vargo 97 is here. What's up, Michael? J Creations, New York. Always like seeing Jay here. Matthew Mahler. What's going on? 8 and Skate. What's up? He says, who's here to F up the algorithm? I try. We got Robert Diaz here. What's up, Robert? Jeff Morris. Harry O. He said he made 5 accounts so he can like the channel more.
Good.
Appreciate you. If everyone did that, it would really help out. Samuel Edwards. What's up, Samuel? Hope you're doing good, man. You remember we met Samuel at Joe Fest? Remember Sam? You can say no.
I don't. I'm just
jerk.
being really honest.
What a
I
jerk
met a
you
lot.
are.
I know, but I met a lot of people, and it was like 3 years ago, so I don't remember most of anybody.
Yeah, that was almost 3 years ago, wasn't it?
It was
No.
2022.
So
Yep,
almost 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah. But
No.
it
Yeah.
feels a lot longer than that. So there's like
Yeah.
a handful I remember, but there were so many back to back to back to back to back all weekend. I'm sorry, I don't remember most of you.
That's okay.
So
Lawrence Howard, he's still finding Crimson Guards at Ollie's for $5. That's awesome.
good,
I got mine from Ollie's, thanks to my friend Scott Hughes, Sal,
Scott
you know.
Hughes.
Yep.
Mhm.
We got Ramen Toy here. What's up, Ace? I was trying to get Hatter on tonight, but I think he's doing a stream somewhere else. Did you see Mad Hatter's Kickstarter? Do you even know who Mad Hatter is?
The only no.
He's a YouTuber that talks
Okay.
about action figures and stuff.
Mhm.
He describes himself as an Arab Jew, and he's
Yeah, that
from
exists.
he's from Florida, but he has a
Okay.
New York accent.
Yeah, there's a lot of people from New York moved down there. That tracks.
He's really funny. He's got a great channel. Anyway, he's kickstarting his own action figure, right?
Oh.
And he's He-Man stuff. The action figure is called Flip-Or.
Flip over. Okay.
Character he's created for his channel called Flipper Frank, who is a
Mhm.
guy that buys up all the action figures and flips them on eBay.
Gotcha.
I'll bring the campaign up in a minute. It's clever. I was telling my wife, I said, wife, if this
That's her
Flip-Or
legal name, by the way, is wife. For anyone
Yes.
keeping track at home.
wife Pants, last name Pants. I said, if this Flip-Or Mad Hatter figure is $100,000 idea, and by the way, it's at like 120,000 or more right now this campaign in just a week. I said, if this is $100,000 idea, I said, guess what? I got ideas. I got $1 million ideas. You know, what am I going to kickstart a figure?
That's right. I mean, we're going to call them street humans.
About road people.
Yeah, I like that better. Road people.
Road people.
I don't know if that joke is like past its due date or not.
It's kind of old.
Okay,
That's
well,
fine.
I'm old, so.
We got Kent Heltzinger here. What's up, Kent? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Valentine Toy Box. Thank you, sir. We got Scott Hughes. Do you look what he did here? You know what that is? That's StreamYard trying to interpret custom emojis. Those are channel member emojis. Yeah. What's up, Scott? We got Mython the Python.
I saw that name recently on Facebook somewhere.
Yes.
Mython the Python.
We have the same prescription glasses.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm. Hope you're doing well, Mython. Junkion, Crafts and Builds. What's up, party people? Legion X, Stratos, Omar V. What's going on, Omar? We've got Chunker Munker 21. That's the first time I've seen this name. Hi. We got Bear 11 Charlie. What's going on? Aaron E. Nichols. Let's see here. A World Made of Cardboard. Harry O. I said that. Just Jeff. Thomas Flood. Andrew Sabina. Biff Jocko. Trust Star Screamer. What's up? A lot of people. V. Conley.
Hell yeah.
Eddie Dominguez. Head Cannon. Amazing Bro. The Titan. George Aitken. A lot of people. ML Series. Okay. Now, we got 5 gifted memberships from Jeff Wheat.
What?
Are you familiar? Yeah. Are you familiar with Jeff Wheat?
Mm-mm.
The guy gave me a his tank.
Word?
It was gift wrapped. He said,
I do remember that. I thought Jeff McElway did that. Sorry, there's a lot
Jeff
of Jeffs.
McEnany. Yeah.
Yes. There's
Jeff
a lot
McEnany
of
lives
in
he lives
Oklahoma.
in I think he lives in Texas. Pretty sure. No.
McEnany is Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Okay.
Yeah, we were basically neighbors for 3 years, but didn't know each other.
Really?
Yeah, I lived in Oklahoma for 3 years.
All right. We got, by the way, Jeff, thank you so much for gifting the memberships. Appreciate you. Members of this channel can get bonus content by staying tuned after the main show. I do a little thing called an after show. Sal, are you familiar?
No, what's an after show?
It's an extra show after the show.
An extra show?
A little bit. Yeah. It's where I go to talk.
How does one get to this after show?
You just click the join button down below.
It's that easy?
It's that easy.
Jesus.
Agree to Google's terms and conditions. Simple. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate you as always, man. Jeff Rykazuski. Thank you for the super chat. He says, hi, Laser Britches. Hello, Jeff. And Mython the Python with the super chat. Thank you, sir. He says, Twinsy. Heart.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Mython. Appreciate you, man. All right. We could talk about toys and stuff, but there's something I wanted to show tonight. I don't know if you've seen this. This video.
Not.
God, this video came out 7 years ago. I don't know if it'll get me, what's it called?
Claimed or striked or whatever.
Claimed. I doubt it'll get me struck because it's a live stream. But I just want to share this for no reason. Is that okay with you?
Sure. Data and Picard.
Can you hear it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, back when I was in the academy, we would follow every ghost with a song. And it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Come cheer up my nights, come cheer up my nights. It's better to have loved and lost. It's better to have loved and lost. Captain Jean-Luc Picard and never to have loved at all. The Federation starship, come cheer up my nights, come cheer up my nights. It's better to have loved and lost. Captain Jean-Luc Picard. 17346732147 Charlie 327897777643 Tango 732 Victor 73117887324767897643776 Lock. When I have plucked the rose, G.O. Grey Hot, longing still for that which longer nurseth the disease. In faith, I do not love thee. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? When I have plucked the rose, longing still for that which longer nurseth the disease. In faith, I do not love thee. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? 'Tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Come cheer up my nights, come cheer up my nights. 'Tis better to have loved and lost. Incredibly unbroken sentence moving from topic to topic. No one had a chance to interrupt. It was quite hypnotic. Incredibly unbroken sentence moving from topic to topic. No one had a chance to interrupt. It was quite hypnotic. Shirley Scaldon. Shirley Scaldon. That's an interesting twist.
That was probably the best anti-joke I've seen in a long time.
So you pick up anything new lately?
Yeah,
I know you're not.
did,
I know you're not
actually.
collecting toys anymore. I got to say that. I think most of the
Yeah.
most of our viewers know you don't collect toys anymore.
Yeah.
You're taking a break for now. You might get back into it one day.
I might like I am keeping like a handful of things. I'm getting rid of almost everything, but like I have I've kept one of each of all my Action Force up to when I stopped. I'm keeping like maybe 2 or 3 of my Marvel Legends. Like I'm keeping one, like a little bit, but everything else gone. But if people are complaining about that video, if it makes it better, just pretend that was a young Michael Schaefer, and it's much funnier.
Mython, thanks for the super chat. He says, "Okay, you got me doubting this twinsy thing after playing this vid."
What video? Should we play it again just to be sure? I'm kidding.
Thank you, Mython.
But no, I picked up a few things. So it's all Zelda related. Like I mentioned, I knew I was going through surgery, so I was like, well, I'm going to be at home for a while, not able to really see or do much of anything. Excuse me. So driving's going to be out, things like that. So I picked up a N64 copy of Ocarina of Time because mine has gone missing somehow. So,
sorry, listen. When I was over there last time, I took it.
God
stole
bless
it
it.
from you. I just really wanted it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I can't even play it. I just wanted it.
I just needed to have it in my collection. I don't
That's
even
right.
like Zelda. I don't like Zelda.
You just got it so you can go with your hot breath.
I've heard that's the best Zelda game ever.
It like everything, it's always a matter of debate, but it's the GOAT. It is the greatest of all time. It is.
I like it.
People will say Breath of the Wild, and those people are wrong, so it's okay. I also picked up the second GOAT, which is Twilight Princess.
Okay.
I bought a local video game store to me, not GameStop, but a local one, had a Wii for really cheap, and Twilight Princess was $10. So I was like, I haven't played this game since like 2009, so why not? I did my taxes, so I did that, and then I picked up a bunch of Zelda amiibos.
They're saying it was the best until Breath of the Wild came out.
I mean, it's okay to be wrong, but yeah, it's fine.
You want to hear something crazy that you can add to the list of things I haven't seen, like Ghostbusters? I've never played a Zelda game.
Not one, not ever.
When that game came out on 64,
Mm-hmm.
I would hang out with a friend of mine and he would play it and I'd watch. Like that was before streaming.
Right.
So you had to be in the same room with someone and watch them play a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people think that's a new concept, Twitch. It's like, no, we all hung out with friends and there was a one-player game, so you just sat there and watched them play it.
Yeah.
It was a thing.
You had the strategy guide out helping them.
That's right.
The strategy guide, yeah.
But they've recently, they being Nintendo, have re-released a bunch of amiibos. So I picked up my Guardian amiibo.
Oh, that's an amiibo? That thing is
it's an
huge.
amiibo. Yeah. No,
Wow.
it's pretty big.
Is that an old one?
It's an old one, but they re-released them recently. Like yesterday, they re-released them.
I wonder if my kid knows that. My kid is obsessed with Zelda right now.
I got you. I got my Wolf Link from Twilight Princess amiibo.
Nice.
And Mifa, #1 waifu on top, of course. And then Sheik, my Sheik amiibo, which technically is a Smash Bros amiibo, but it still works. So, yep, I picked all those up. They're little tchotchke trinkets. Like they help the gameplay, but that they also look cool. And I got this for reasons I don't understand. So
pixel art. Is that a Chotasaur?
Yeah, but it's
like
Legos.
Hmm?
Yeah, it's a Donglodon.
A Donglodon.
That's right. And it's like little Legos type deals. Like I needed something to occupy my time because it's Chad's got to bounce. Huh? Yeah, retirement's coming for you, baby.
Goodbye, Chad. Thanks for stopping by. That's his theme song.
I got you.
You know, here's a story about Chad and Joe Fest.
Hmm.
You remember when he walked up to the table at Joe Fest and he was Cobra Soldier?
Yes.
We're like, Ryan, look, it's Chad. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh, yeah, Chad. I had no clue who he was, but I acted
Good.
like I was like, oh, yeah, you're like from YouTube. I'm like, uh-huh. Yeah. I didn't know who the hell he was. I had never seen his channel before that. But I learned that weekend and we became good friends.
Hmm.
Good story, right?
Indeed. It's a weekend. I had a really good time, but like it was very much a blur, especially that Friday night. Fucking that line was astronomical. It's huge.
Yeah, that was cool. It was good times. All right. Let me see here. We got some comments. The Radiation 74 says, Laser, can you explain what Bobby means when he talks about the HasLab? He says, if we believe the tears are baked in, we are crazy. Paraphrased. I can't. No, I don't know. Ask him next time he's on the show. Probably next weekend.
Hmm.
In fact, next weekend, that's going to be a good show if you're a fan of Action Force.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Action Force fans should not miss the next show. And Scott Hughes says, Laser Pants, I have you beat. I've never played a single Nintendo game ever whatsoever. Now that's pretty huge. I think even my mom has played a Nintendo game. Yeah, my mom has a Wii. So
I know
she's
my mom
definitely-
has, but that's an impressive feat, and that's a life
Yeah.
half lived's got.
Yep. Thank you, Scott. All right. Was that your whole weekly haul there?
Oh, that's like the last yeah. I'd say that's the last week.
That's cool. So you're still picking up some fun stuff. Still got a
Mhm.
bit of the collecting bug, but you used to buy a ton of toys.
It was an unhealthy amount that a lot of people will come onto YouTube and be like, yeah, this is normal, this is sustainable, and it's not. It's especially when you're a low man on the totem pole like you or I, where we have to buy our shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, even if you're super wealthy, there's still not enough space.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you're,
more-
I mean, I guess if you're super, super wealthy, you can just build an entire warehouse to store your collect.
Right.
But then you can be like the next Steve Sansweet of action figures. But I have a feeling like Steve Sansweet, he's turned it into a museum. Does he have, if you have that much stuff, are you really enjoying any of it? I mean, I have
No.
one room and I have a lot of stuff, and I look around sometimes and I'm like, I mean, I haven't picked up that action figure over there for like a year. You know, it's
Yep.
like, So if you just have massive amounts, bins and bins, it's like, are you really enjoying it? Maybe. I don't know.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
I got a few things. You want to see what I got?
Let me
Speaking
show
of
you something.
buying. Oh, should I? Yeah, I can do that.
It's been a while.
Okay.
Let me show you something! Let me show you something! Let me show you something! Let me show you something!
I got a Mafex figure. This is my
Word.
first Mafex of the year. And it's really good. And I have a lot of this character now because that's all that, it seems like that's half of the figures that Hasbro makes now. But I got the Mandalorian from Mafex.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the best one. And the funny thing is I got the Black Series a few weeks before, and they're both really good. The Black Series is really good for $25.
Mm-hmm.
But like the Mafex one, I kind of don't have any complaints about. It's just
It looks great.
Yeah, the articulation, the dark saber, tons of accessories, including it came with 2 Grogus. Like we needed another Grogu, but it came with
Right.
this, and then it came with one in the satchel with his head sticking out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm really happy with this Mafex Mandalorian, and the way things are going, it's probably the last one I'll buy. I don't know. I saw some headlines like Mandalorian season 4 canceled. It's just going to be a movie, but now the movie's a bait and switch because it's actually going to be Bo-Katan and Grogu, like the Mandalorian, but Bo-Katan. So I'm like, eh. The weird thing is I liked Bo-Katan until Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I don't know. What a
It was
horrible show that was.
I wouldn't call it a bait and switch, but that season 3 was like, wow. It was like, cool, she's back, nice callback character, cool. But it's like, oh, now you're going to be the focus of the show that we spent 2 seasons with this other character.
And look, Jack Black and some massive singer that I like. What are they doing in this show?
They don't know.
All of a sudden, it became. Season 3 was already horrible, but it just became like the worst fan fiction ever. Like It was a high school production. Oh, look, we got Jack Black to be here. And I like Jack Black.
Yeah.
But it was just bad, man. Just really bad.
It was. That's why when I was looking at that figure, I was thinking back to like 2019 when that first season was airing, and there was like hope again. Like, because we had Jedi Fallen Order, and it's like, oh, okay. Rise of Skywalker notwithstanding, we're like, cool, maybe they're getting on the right track, and then just.
I remember being excited for the Book of Boba Fett because that was teased at the end of Mandalorian season 2, and that ended on a high note for me. I loved it. I know most people hated PS3 Luke, but I didn't mind it. I loved that last episode. And then they teased Book of Boba Fett. I'm like, this is going to be so cool. It's going to be dark, and then that was a big turd. Just a lot of that. Anyway, go ahead.
So it was a big bait and switch because they had that one episode that he showed up in Mando season 2, and you're like, oh, like he's just haymakers, is destroying all these fucking stormtroopers. Like, this is gonna be good. And then, nope.
No. Yeah. I also got in the new Valiverse 60th anniversary G.I. Joe. Sorry. The G.I. Joe 60th anniversary G.I. Joe classified random army builder guy, which it's pretty good. It's pretty good. My weapons are all straight. It seems like the double barrel AR-15 there is nice and straight. It's a real gun. Just ask Scott Hughes; he'll tell you. They actually did make a double barreled AR-15.
Okay.
Yeah. He's got the what's that? The saw.
Yeah.
Nice big backpack. Turned out pretty good. In fact, I got 2 of them, and the reason why is because when Big Bad put these up, they put them up for $25 each.
Nice.
So they were $10 under retail price, and then a bunch of retailers did that. And then what they did was they fixed it, but they honored the $25. So
good.
This is the other one. I kept him in the poncho, gave him the M2 Browning. Right? That's what that is, right?
Yeah, that's the 50 cal.
50 cal. I mean, it's not. It's what it's supposed to look like, right? It's not actually.
Right. It's close.
I think this is the same one that's going to come with the new Roadblock, or did come with Roadblock. I don't remember. Yeah. So I got those. At Emerald City Comic Con, there was this vendor that had really cheap Mezco figures. So I went in, and this figure is actually not great, but I mean, it looks good, but just the art is like, it's like Super 7. But the Mezco Snyder one, it'll look on the shelf. $40, brand new, sealed in the box. I couldn't say no to Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot. It's Gal Gadot.
Really?
Yeah. He corrected an interviewer one time. He's like, Gal Gadot, right? You say it Gadot? She's like, it's Gadot. And
well, it's been saying Godot for years.
She's like, it's Gadot. You not see the T at the end? Do Americans not pronounce the T?
Well, I mean, I assume it's pronounced like the name Margot usually has a T at the end, but you don't pronounce the T in that. So.
Oh yeah, true.
But
I got Executioner.
He was one of my favorite from the Toy Biz.
Yeah, I mean, this looks a lot like his comic book counterpart. It is based on the animated series. I think the main thing that is different is the colors.
Yeah, I remember a lot more of blue and green color scheme.
Yep. And this is like tan and black. It looks cool. So I picked him up because I don't have any Executioner in my collection. I mean, I do now.
Hell yeah.
I do
Speaking of Mezco, I still have a whole bunch that I'm selling. So
hey, hit him up.
Yep. If you're looking for an Atticus Doom, I got one.
You want him to DM you on Instagram?
Yeah, that's fine.
Atticus Doom. Which one is he?
He's got like the skull face with the turban, and he comes with like this tentacle faces and all that. But it's the second one, so it's all the black and neon green looking.
Gotcha. Yeah, I passed on those. Hey, what's up? Art G is here. Hello, Art G.
Hell yeah.
Amazing Bro says he thinks the Clone Wars show is overrated. I think season 3, 4, 5. The last season they ended up calling 7, but it was like 8 episodes or 6 episodes or something. 7.
It was it's called the Lost episodes now.
No. That was season 6.
Oh.
And then they came back and they did a proper 7. I thought the last season.
Well, yeah, the last season there's like I think it's 12 episodes, but the middle 4 just don't count.
Yeah, that's what it was. The middle 4 sucked.
Yeah, real hard.
Matthew says we're boring AF tonight. Dance, monkey dance. Well, I did no prep for this show at all.
Yeah.
Greg, no, Tony is not coming back. That's been discussed many times. Tony has decided to leave the show because he doesn't have time. He's got a new job at his employer and his own YouTube channel, and he doesn't have the time to spare. But if anything ever changes, he's welcome to come back. There we go.
Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me.
Is there going to be any more villains in Action Force?
I assume so.
No,
none, ever. That's it.
None. They're going out of business.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot that Bobby was supposed to take the Kickstarter money and run. I forgot that was the thing. That was.
What can I say? Oh, the Praetorian is going to be in Series 5. That's a
forgot
villain.
about that one.
I think that's the only one that's been revealed so far. Of course, there's going to be more villains. Let's see here.
I mean, I hope if people have read the comics, which you probably should, if you haven't, I would hope Bobby would eventually make the that governor-looking guy in the suit.
Yeah. The trade, by the way, the trade paperback is in stock on Battleverse.com. If anyone wants to read the whole story, that's out so far.
But I told Bobby a long time ago that I was like, I don't know if he remembers or not, but I was like, when you do the movie, you should get Walton Goggins to play that guy.
Walter Goggins.
Yeah.
Tell me who that is, because I know the name.
Did you ever watch Justified?
Nope.
He was in Sons of Anarchy for like a season at the very end.
Never watched Sons of Anarchy. So I've been without cable TV for so long. Literally almost 10 years.
Yeah. Well, you've seen Invincible.
Yeah. On Amazon Prime. And I've read the book. Yeah.
Right. It's animated, but he does the voice of, what's his name? Carl, the bald guy with a scar. I can't remember his name.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Voice. So he does the voice for him, and he looks just like the character in the comics. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, the comic was excellent. And I was surprised because I watched the show first and then read the first volume of the Invincible comic.
Mm-hmm.
And the show creators stayed really true to the story.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was, they did a really good job. Now season 2, we're only halfway through that. I'm waiting for the second half of season 2 to come out, and then I'll read volume 2 of the comic. Yeah.
It's been really good so far. So.
Right on. Hey, Junkion, thank you for the super chat. Evening all. Is that Hasbro, KO, Action Force figure good, right? Yeah, dude. I mean, I think it's good. I'm happy with it. Like I said, the weapons didn't come out like that, like the eels, harpoon. So they're all pretty straight. In fact, one of them had which one was it? One of them had like a thick piece of plastic over it to keep it straight. And they don't feel as rubbery as they have felt recently in the line. So, yeah, it's pretty good. I'm glad I got it for $25. I also got the divers, but I haven't opened them yet. The Recon divers. Somewhere around here. I haven't opened them yet. They're doing generic troops and classified now.
That's an admission of guilt if I've ever seen one, where you said that there was a hard piece of plastic to keep the gun straight in the tray. I'm like, that's an
right.
admission of guilt right there.
And you know what? They did the same thing with Executioner. Like the tip of his gun had this like hard piece of plastic over the tip, over just the tip.
Good.
To keep it from bending, to keep it straight.
Mm-hmm.
Solid. But I'm like, if they can put that in the package, why can't they just make the gun out of that material?
Well, see, you're thinking too hard there.
For
some reason I do a lot of training, like job training with NCIS, and so we do like shooter drills, things like that. And they have this thing for room clearing. You stick like just a little bit of your face into the frame, and you can use your peripheral to pretty much see the entire room.
Yeah.
And they call it limited penetration. And we years ago, when I first went through that training, they would call it just the tip, because they're like just the tip. But now they have to call it limited penetration because it might be offensive. And so when people are like just the tip, I go limited penetration in my head.
Amazing Bro's talking about Star Wars here.
Good.
He says, I hate the way they treated Dooku in the Clone Wars in the prequel movies. Only the movies themselves. He was portrayed as a gray character that good and even believable motivations despite his beside wrongdoings. In the show, he's portrayed as a typical evil villain with no redemption. It's asinine. I can kind of see that.
Yeah, well,
the cartoon did make him much more of a mustache twirling villain.
Right. But, cartoon on Cartoon Network for children, not saying, not to be like, it's for kids, not that defense, but it's like, things are changed. And, let's see, Clone Wars came out or started in 2008 or 2009, which is 7 years after the movie.
It was 2008, yeah.
So things have changed. I mean, George Lucas, for how many years, kept going back to the OT and changing things that he wanted to be more authentic to what he really wanted.
Yeah, he does that.
Maybe it was changed because he wanted Dooku to be more of a cut and dry villain, and it just wasn't as apparent in the original movie. We don't know. But
Not Top Goon says, Ryan, have you heard the passing of Akira Toriyama? I have. It's been all over the internet.
Yeah,
I didn't know who he was.
I did.
Dragon Ball Z guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, and weirdly, so there was it's a single chapter, but it's really good. There's a manga called Sandland that he did decades ago. And it's one contained story, but it's really fucking good. At least from what I remember, I was like 12 when I read it. And it's just now being made into an anime. And I think it's also getting a video game this year. And it's kind of like, it just sucks that he's not going to be able to, that he can't see that come to fruition, like really be solidified. And it might get canceled. I don't fucking know. But I mean, the guy whose name escapes me, but the guy who did Berserk died like 6 years ago now, and that's still going. So
I remember when he died. That was a big deal too.
Berserk.
I feel like for this younger generation, this is like their George Lucas dying.
I mean, DBZ's been around since the 80s. It came to America in 89, I think, officially. Like the first Ocean dub came to America in 89, then it got redubbed by Funimation and syndicated, ran in like 99 to however long it's been going now. But
Dragon Ball was just starting to become a thing when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I never got into it. But I mean, you know, the kids, I guess kids your age grew up with it.
I did.
Right. Yeah. And so for the creator, and it's been going nonstop, right? Like the show's never really ended, right?
No, it stopped. There was Dragon Ball, and that had a finite end. Then Dragon Ball Z is like the sequel show to that, but it's the most popular. Because you can
Yeah.
watch Dragon Ball Z without having to watch Dragon Ball. Goku's an adult, shit like that, and it had a finite end. And then there was like a I don't know what the time was between, but then Dragon Ball GT came out, but that's non-canon. It's not it's a continuation, but it's not considered canon, or it's officially not canon. And then there were other movies and all that. And then Dragon Ball Super is the official like sequel show to Dragon Ball Z, which started in 16, I think. 16,
So
17, 18.
it's
around
pretty
there.
much been ongoing for well over 20,
Right.
25 years.
Right. With
Right.
gaps. Kind of like Star Wars. It's been with gaps,
Yeah.
it's been ongoing.
I mean, yeah, when George Lucas dies, that's going to be a huge deal.
Yeah. And Disney.
There's
will turn it
really
into
like,
somehow.
3 generations of fans of Star Wars. It's going to, Star Wars has been huge. Granted, in the past 8 years, 9 years has not been great. But you can't erase what George Lucas did. You can't forget about that. The original trilogy and even the prequels, which I still like. They're not as good as the originals. I mean, come on. You know.
Right.
But it's going to be weird living in a post George world.
It's coming. Within
he's
the
old.
next 10 years, I'd say.
Yeah, he's in his
So,
80s.
yeah.
He's about the same age as Harrison Ford, maybe a year older. And Harrison Ford's 82.
Yeah,
So.
that's when they cast him as Thunderbolt Ross. I'm like, ooh, you sure you want to go that route? Because William Hurt was a lot younger and he died. So,
Well, they turn him into Red Hulk, and then he can just stay Red Hulk forever and just be CG forever.
Yeah.
Vishay, thanks for the member chat. He says Akira Toriyama is equivalent to Stan Lee and George Lucas to a massive population of people. Dragon Ball Z's legacy has many deep roots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much what I thought.
My favorite. So, back in my day, back when I was a young whippersnapper, it was not cool to be a nerd or like anime or like any of this shit.
I know. I've said this before. I don't mean to cut you off. I want to let you continue. Okay, I just went fully Kanye West on you, Taylor Swift. But I've said like the nerd hierarchy when I was in high school was like Star Wars fans, Star Trek fans, right? D&D fans, and then like Dragon Ball fans, as far as like nerdiness went. But in the mid to late 90s, anime was still kind of new over here. I know it had been around for a while, but there wasn't like a massive following like what happened with Dragon Ball and Pokemon.
Right.
I feel like that's when it really got like mainstream USA.
So I can go into that, but so part of it, like, again, it wasn't cool, right, to like any of this shit, but there were a lot of other shows that would like reference Dragon Ball Z through like fighting scenes or whatever, and it was always like, hey, like, I get it because I like that thing, and you felt seen, I think is what the kids say now. I think really what happened, this is my guesswork, based purely on anecdotal information, is that circa 98, 99, where I was growing up, we got cable, like Comcast, whatever it was, Charter, whatever it was called. Like we got cable beyond like channel 32 or whatever it was. So we got access to Cartoon Network. That same year or ballpark year is when Toonami really took off on Cartoon Network, which is an anime programming block for about 2 hours in the afternoon post school hours. So I think a lot of it was, across the country now, people are getting access to Cartoon Network, who has this anime programming block. It's right after school, so you get home, you're watching it. Like, I think it was just a not lightning in a bottle, but a perfect series of events with Pokemon showing up, which had the trading card game, the anime, and the video game to all back it up. It was a trifecta. So it appealed. If you like the video games, cool, there's a video game. If you like card collecting or collecting at all, here's cards. Here's toys. Here's the show if you just want to watch the show. Like, there was a covered all bases kind of deal. So it was like the powerhouse, just all these things lining up all at once, and then a whole generation of anime fans. So
Robert Diaz says anime didn't really blow up until Ghost in the Shell and Akira were sold on VHS.
I was aware of
I'll
those.
take your word
like,
for it.
My older brother watched Akira, and I was aware of Ghost in the Shell because I saw the like if you got Dragon Ball Z on VHS or whatever, like sometimes you could get the VHSs early before they aired on television, and so you'd get like snippets and commercials, like previews, and Ghost in the Shell was one of them. So I was like, boobies every time the fucking trailer came on. So
Yeah. Blue Serendipity says even in Creed 3, Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors were using DBZ moves and inspired their fight after the series. Jonathan
Shocker.
Majors also used DBZ moves against his ex-girlfriend.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, and that's another big part of it. It's gonna sound dumb, but it seems like the hip hop industry kind of sets the pace for a lot of things of what's considered cool. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people like Michael B. Jordan and all of them that are like openly liking Naruto and shit like that. So it's like, oh, that's cool now, and then it kind of trickles down to everybody else. So I don't know. Just something
I remember Blue Serendipity brings up Aeon Flux,
Aeon Flux
on MTV. Yeah. Aeon Flux. Yeah, I remember that too. And then I remember the live action movie and not liking it at all.
Yeah, that was my introduction to that series, was the live action movie, which I walked out of. I didn't like it.
Man, yeah, it was rough. There was a good comment I wanted to get to. Omar, I'm something of a Super Saiyan myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
he's got
Green Goblin.
Gohan as his icon, the Great Saiyaman, which is, I'm sorry, Omar, I'm going to say this, but that was one of the dumbest things I've seen Gohan ever do, was that whole thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's Gohan is dressed up as a fictional superhero in his little profile picture there.
Oh,
And it was
okay.
just a really dumb thing that they decided to do.
Gotcha. I mean, I usually make fun of Dragon Ball Z, because I don't know anything about it, and I just like to mess with people. But I'll take the day off from that in memory of Akira Toriyama. Okay?
Indeed.
Is that okay?
Salud. I would, but I'm empty. So
The Steel Guy says, I'm 50 years old. I was a nerd before it was cool. Dude, when I was in school, it was not cool to like this stuff.
no,
Including Star Wars. Like, Star Wars was kind of like borderline in the mid-90s. Like, everyone liked it, but if you were like me and you liked it too much, then you were like, who's this weirdo?
Yeah. I was a sophomore. Yeah, I was a sophomore in high school when episode 3 came out, and God. So in gym class, part of our gym class was bowling. I think the high school had like a deal with a local bowling alley, so we would go to the bowling alley to bowl for gym class, like for 2 weeks.
I remember we had ping pong in gym class, but that was like elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, we also did square dancing in elementary school. So,
Someone was Jeremy was talking about that the other day. I'm like, we never had square dancing in school.
I did.
Weird. Yeah.
Every year in elementary school, you did square dancing.
And you still
I don't remember any of it. That's right.
Oh.
Yeah, you lock arms and you go around in a circle.
Yeah.
But what's up?
Johnny Number Cinco says, "Go back to vaping, Sal. It made you look cooler." It did.
Probably did.
It does look cool.
Probably did.
Go to cigarettes and just have it always hanging out of your mouth with like a long
That's right.
ash trail.
I might have my fucking pipe floating around here somewhere.
No, don't get back on the
yeah,
devil's
I'm
lettuce.
trying to-
Wait, no, that's weed.
The jazz cabbage. I don't know. I get out in 7 months. We'll think about it. But no. So a couple like friends, I call them friends. They're like kids that I knew. Like we were friendly, but I didn't hang out with them outside of school. Bug invented square dancing. Good for him.
Yep.
Good for him. But they named their team the Sith Lords for bowling, and the amount of bullying they received, which in hindsight, if I were a smarter person, I would have been like, hey, how do you know what a Sith Lord is? Why? Like, if you're able to make fun of them for it, you have to know what that is.
Mhm.
But I never put two and two together on that until years later.
Well, anime. We're talking about Dragon Ball and anime, and it got big in the late '90s.
It did.
You know what else was big in the late '90s?
Me, I was a fat kid. Oh, Tom Green.
Remember this?
I definitely remember the Tom Green show.
Shh, bum is on the rail. Look at me. My bum is on the rail. My bum is on the man. Bum is on the man. It's a lot of fun to put your bum on a man. My bum is on the step. Bum is on the step. Don't fall down the step. You might hurt your bum. And that's not very fun. If you fall down and hurt your bum. I like to put my bum on things. It's fun for everyone. That's not very fun.
Okay, sorry, I won't skate for anymore. So I just thought it'd be fun for the video.
My bum is on the cheese. Bum is on the cheese. If I get lucky, I'll get a disease.
Sal, you can come back. You don't have to leave, Sal.
No, I'm
My bum
still
is on
here.
the Swedish.
Oh, okay.
Swedish.
Are you vaping?
My bum is on the gum.
I am
My bum
not.
is on the gum.
I had to go get a new refreshment.
My bum is on the ship.
And I'm not wearing any
The
pants.
ship.
So
Shoot the cannon in my bum and shoot poo all over the place. Poo,
Cause that isn't very fun when they shoot a cannon in your bum. I like to put my bum on things. It's fun for everyone. I like to put my bum on things. It's fun for
That's all I can take.
yeah, it was a dark time.
Yeah. That was all
Wasn't he
filmed in
married to
Seattle
Drew? Wasn't he married to Drew Barrymore at one point?
for less than a year.
That son of a bitch.
She cost him a testicle.
I remember that.
That was his last episode of the Tom Green show. Having a ball removed. And I remember when we were watching it, not knowing if that was really happening or if the whole thing was a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God,
Mike
the 90s.
Espinoza. Tom Green, I think, is a barista in Toronto today. He was on Joe Rogan last week.
Was he? Oh,
Yeah.
How's he doing?
He has a farm. He's talking about his farm, and he got a mule, a 1,400-pound mule.
Good lord.
Massive mule. Yeah. Yeah. So that was
If I
I-
had a mule, I'd name it Near.
near mule. Mule near. That's good. Oh, I'm all out of ideas.
Out of ideas. Okay. Well, we were going to talk like Comicsgate at one point. And I was going to
Oh, yeah.
tell you the story about what happened to beards in the military.
Well, I want to hear your Comicsgate story because you were in on backing some of those comics in the early days.
The very or like the first days of Comicsgate.
And so was I, but I've only ever backed two different creators within Comicsgate. Right.
So, right. Like a lot of things, I don't really dip my toes into things. I go whole hog into a lot of shit, which is why I don't gamble.
Yeah.
It's really bad. And so those early days, like circa 2017, roughly, excuse me, I got started down the YouTube rabbit hole through Jeff and EVS and all, and found all these Comicsgate people, and like people were always sending super chats like, hey, back my book, and he would bring them on and all that. And you had John Malin, you had God, what was that kid's name?
Nurkish?
Yeah, Nurkish. Back when Cecil started showing up. Like, anyway, so if people were on his show and they had a book, I went and I backed it at the highest tier that I could. Like, I sunk over the course of 2 months, maybe 3, I sunk probably $6,000 into comic books that I didn't have.
Wow.
It was all credit card. I didn't have that money. Yeah. fast forward a year, and I'm still not getting any of my books. Fast forward another 6 months, I'm still not getting any of my books. And then
Wow.
finally, like Doug TenNapel was Doug TenNapel and it was Black Hole Productions, Asian guy. Can't remember his
Don't
name.
remember.
He always had the samurai guys like little logo. He did the Meg 6-shooter samurai. Doesn't matter. But he and Doug TenNapel were the two that actually turned around their books quickly, right?
Because
And
Doug TenNapel will just scribble something down. Like I've
Right.
seen his artwork. It's like
Yeah.
very, very yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
people would argue it's stylized, but it's like that's a push. That's a stretch.
Oh wait, did you
but
back Mike S. Miller? Did you back Smiller?
that's him. Yep. In the
That
early
guy,
days
okay.
before him and EVS had a big falling out when they were still friends.
Yeah, I guess he is Asian. Well, he's like, I mean, I consider like Pacific Islander, right? He's like Hawaiian, isn't he?
Well, he
Anyway.
plays up the Japanese thing. So
Oh, he's
like,
Japanese. Okay, I didn't know that.
well, I don't know if he is, but his icon for a long time was the Japanese sun. The flag was like behind a cartoon of himself. So I don't know if he actually is, or if that's just like he played that up, or he played up the Benihana thing. Like he just played into that stuff. But so this is back then, before they had this huge falling out. Same with Doug TenNapel. So I backed all these books, and then I stopped backing them because there were people like Critias. There was another guy who made a book called Asgard that never got completed. But yeah, there were a lot of books that just never came out. So I stopped backing them. And then EVS took almost 3 years to put out the first Cyberfrog book. And I was
Right?
like,
Yeah. No. It took 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. That took 2 years, and then Wrecked Planet took 3.
So I stopped backing Comicsgate stuff. Because there were a lot of these people who like EVS does great work. Like I won't shit on his artwork at all. It's phenomenal.
I got in
My thing is
I got in the Salamandroid line art variant from him
nice.
a couple days ago. There's only 200 of these, and they're numbered.
Hell yeah.
Zero. It's 94 of 200.
Nice.
Signed and numbered.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But my thing was like a lot of these guys are like professionals, like not just EVS, but a lot of them are like former pros, like working in the industry. I'm like, how do you like not get a book done in a year? Like how's that possible? And then a lot of these guys were like taking the money and running. So I was like, you know what? I'm out. I'm done. I'm not backing any more of this Comicsgate stuff. So, but you have a much more storied version of events.
Cyberfrog isn't even that good. Oh, I wholeheartedly disagree. But I mean, that's fine. If you don't like it, that's fine.
I was let down by the first issue. I'm like, oh, that was a bunch of nothing. That was like, luckily I had the first 4 like from the 90s Cyberfrog books. I gave those to Bobby eventually, but I had those 4, so I was able to read those and get more backstory.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, pretty much nothing happened.
Yeah, the 90s Cyberfrog books you don't need to read.
No, you don't.
Like you can start at Blood Honey.
Yeah,
and you got everything you need to know, because the stuff he did in the 90s when he was, very young, it's almost, he says it's canon, but it's
like loose canon or optional canon.
Yeah. Like you don't need it, and I've read, I have warts and all that. I've read all that. It's fine, you could. It's a very different, it's a very different character.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's very much 90s wacky extreme stuff.
Yeah, he described it as nihilistic.
Yeah.
Cyberfrog would just kill people. But in Blood Honey, he's an actual hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still like fried chicken.
Yes. Yeah, the wait for, like I said, I've only ever backed Cyberfrog books. And well, I got Cecil's book.
Cash Grab.
Cash Grab. Which apparently that took a long time because he was going through a divorce. And if he would have had the book and fulfilled it, she would have got some of that money.
That at least makes sense.
Yeah, he was waiting for that divorce to be finalized before he got it out because she would have, divorces are ugly. They're messy.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that people have a right to be upset about waiting that long. But at this point, I know there's going to be a wait for Cyberfrog, and I'm such a fan of what he's doing. I don't really care. Like, I'll wait. To me, it's worth it. And there's always something coming out to collect from that is Cyberfrog related. I am getting kind of, the more I see of it, getting interested in Shane Davis's book, the Inglorious Rex. I haven't backed it yet, but I might start picking those up. And then what other? Oh, John Malin. Well, I don't know about John Malin stuff because I've seen some of the stuff he does, and I'm like, I don't. Not really my. It's like extreme violence and gore, like over the top.
Well, he did Juggernaut, didn't he? That guy.
I think he worked on. Yeah, he might have worked on Juggernaut. I'm pretty sure he worked on Cable and Deadpool comic books back in the day. But I see we have action figure Atorium here.
That's a name I don't recognize.
He's a YouTuber. I don't know why he doesn't get good views. He was mentioning that the other day in a video, joking about it. But I really like his channel a lot. Action figure Atorium. It's a informative channel. He has a lot of good takes, I think. Some that I don't agree with, but of course you don't. You don't agree with everyone on everything. If you did, I think that would be weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a Comicsgate guy. I think he backs a lot of the stuff. Let's see here. Just to address Mike Joseph says EVS's biggest problem is trying to do too much. I'm not worried about late books as long as I know I'll eventually get it. Yeah. I think he's admitted as much. He bit off more than he could chew. And I mean, the way he doesn't draw like, easy stuff. It's very intricate. I'm sure one page takes them forever. And they're not single issues, right?
Right.
Both Cyberfrog books have been over 80 pages, so. Stygian says because EVS is on YouTube much more than he is working on his book. I don't think so. But you got to do both.
He was.
That's a fine criticism. I think you have to be because he's his only marketer. He has to market his own work. He doesn't. It's just him. He's drawing it, marketing it. He has a colorist and a letterer, but I don't pretend to know what all goes into it. I know it's more than just drawing it and sending it to the printer and then mailing it out. There's a lot involved. But if he wasn't doing YouTube, he wouldn't be selling comic books. So how else would he get the word out?
Right.
The guys that say, I don't want to do YouTube, and they just put a comic book up for crowdfund, it doesn't do well.
Right.
You have to be out there. You have to be entertaining on your channel. You have to have engagement, right? And he does that. And I mean, dude, he's been doing this show Trashcast for the past few months. It's awesome. It's some of the best YouTube content I've ever watched. I would hate to be on his bad side. The way he exposes people and just, oh man, it's so good. It's so good. But yeah, anyway.
That's like, I remember, was it 6 months ago, maybe a year ago? Time has no meaning for me anymore. But it's like Eric July's Iman. Is that what it was? His book?
I saw him.
That's right. Yeah, Iman is I think a Muslim priest type dude. But I saw him. Yeah, that was like the talk of the town. Like everyone's like, "Oh, it broke $1 million. It was going to be this like revolutionary new thing," and now everyone's just shitting on it.
It's bad. You want to read it? I'll send you mine. You can have it. And I listen. I gave the first ISOM a pass. I'm like, well, I think he's building to something here. This will be good, And I'm not going to sit here and tell everyone, oh, I knew that the artwork was all just 3D assets, copy and pasted 3D assets, and I didn't know that. I'm not an artist, right? I knew the art looked a little weird, but I gave the first book a pass. But then when I got ISOM 2, I'm like, what the hell is this? It's trash, dude. It's bad. There's no story. There's no characters. Nothing is happening. So anyway, I'm out on ISOM. I'm done. And I was nice to Eric July before. I'm like, I want him to do well. You know, I think he has something good. I don't think he does. I think he's just making YouTuber merch. I think he could sell anything, you know.
Yeah.
But he picked comic books because I think he saw, you know, the money Comicsgate was bringing in, and he wanted to do that. So, yeah.
Yep. That was kind of how. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way I fall into categories, or like the way things worked out. But it seems like when there's like one thing successful, like a bunch of people just kind of glom onto it. Like when the Fandom Menace first got started, right? It seemed like there were like maybe 3 channels that were like actually talking about how bad the new Star Wars stuff was. People saw how successful it was, then all of a sudden everyone had their own channel talking about how Star Wars is bad, and this is bad, that's bad. And then EVS, John Miller, and like a couple other guys had successful Comicsgate comics, and all of a sudden everybody had a fucking comic that they wanted someone to back. And then, you know, Bobby has Action Force, which is right. Action Force is a failure. I forgot. But you know, wildly successful, and now a bunch of people are like, "Oh, I'm going to try and launch my own toy line. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the thing." So I don't know. It just kind of seems that that's how it always works. But
Bobby reached out to him. Bobby reached out to July to Eric July to make, and he talked about this, you know, to make action figures. And Eric didn't want to do it because they're made in China. He said, "No, I'm going to make them in the United States."
Good luck with that, homie.
No, he learned real fast that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we mentioned this earlier. I was trying to get. I invited Matt Hatter on tonight. He wasn't able to make it, but Sal, since you haven't seen this is his Kickstarter, which is at $125,000 in a week.
Wow.
Crazy. Congrats to him, man. This is cool to see. So here's the story. Let's see. It says the story right here. See? Story, but then there's no story. That's great. Way to go, Matt Hatter. Yeah, it's horrible. We did it. Toy community, blah, blah, blah. Going to blow you away. Here we go. The Flipor origin story. Flipor is a tongue-in-cheek action figure satirizing toy collectors and the toy collecting industry in general. He's the sly merchant of the underground who always gets what he wants and gets what you want too. A cunning and unstoppable force in the toy realm, screwing over collectors throughout the land. If he can make some coin with his cunning powers for markups, you best believe he will. So get ready to flip out with Flipor. Sword and Sorcery fans, meet your new collectible obsession and unlock the power of Flipor by getting your pre-order in now. It's the toy that fans of certain master-like origins never knew they needed, but can't live without. A toy flipper figure with flipping action. And see, that's middle fingers. Early Flip the Bird special. Yeah. So there's Flipor. These are flip bots. You know, because remember the online bots that would buy up all the figures.
Right. Yeah.
Online. See that it's all about scalping and flipping figures.
Oh. I don't get
it.
No.
See, it says flip or.
Flip or what?
Like Skeletor and, you know.
Who's that?
I don't know. Some dude that says something inappropriate and then says, "Until next time," and runs away.
Oh, yeah, from the meme.
Yeah, from the meme. Yeah, it's a meme. This is a meme too, kind of.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't wait for it to become part of what it's satirizing, where people will buy these, then someone will inevitably sell it for more than what they bought it for.
That's kind of the joke. Like, are these going to sell for more than what they're? I mean, they're $49. It's a $49 figure, which, you know, it's a boutique.
Well,
I get it. That's a lot for a figure, but it's boutique, and he's packing in a ton of stuff. There's already unlocks. Like, here's everything you get. This is his his sidekick
Well,
Katja.
I mean, that's not far off from what Origin, because that would be like a deluxe Origins figure. And last I checked, like Moss Man was like $35 or something like that. So it's really not that
Right.
far off.
And they're making, what, 50,000 of those,
Right.
and this will probably be in the low thousands of production. So it just gets more expensive. But he's working with Ace from Ramen Toy.
Good.
Which is, for those that are wary of backing action figure Kickstarters because of past Kickstarters that never fulfilled, like myself, the fact that Ace is helping out in this project kind of gives me more. It gives me more confidence in it, and I did back it. Full disclosure, I backed it. But yeah, there it is. Flipboard. You can get flip bots and other stuff is unlocking as well.
Did you read the name of the accessories?
No, but I will go back.
You got the cloak of Tarjay.
Yeah, the cloak of Tarjay.
Mm-hmm. Scepter of FOMO, and the dreaded Katja.
Katja, yeah, that's his cat there.
That's
because Katja will stop. Katja will stop the flip bots.
Yeah, that's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, it's very clever. I mean, Hatter. I don't know if people know this, but he's a writer in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
He's a writer, so he's a clever guy.
Yeah, that's really funny. I like that. If I were a collecting man still, I'd probably get that. I tell you, not for nothing. Take it from me, the guy who doesn't collect anymore. There's been a handful of things that have almost pulled me out of retirement, right? For like a one-off thing.
What was it?
One of them, I would be very tempted by this. One of the big ones was the Tracer Swarm that Bobby put out this year. The glow in the dark one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Do you want one?
Wanting one and getting one are two different. See, look how cool that is.
It is, dude. I never thought he could outdo the Swarm Horde, the red one, which I loved that when it came out. But man, the Swarm, I almost said Swarm Sentry, Swarm Tracer. Yeah, it's really cool. And man, it glows, dude. Scott Hughes got me to. He sent me a link for a black light, which I bought.
Mm-hmm.
And the black light, UV light really makes the glow in the dark feature charge.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can't find my. Oh, here it is. So I got this like high powered UV flashlight. See that?
Yeah, don't shut it under the desk.
Oh no. Yeah. No. But let me see here. Oh, here. Let me get this. I mean, even with regular light, the black light will just make it glow.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's not dark in here. But if it was, I mean, this thing just lights up the room after you hit it with the black light.
You can even see that it's glowing under normal light. So, but yeah, that one, Steel Mayflex.
Real quick, Sal. Oh, sorry, I hate to cut you off, but I want to back up and just address this really quick.
Okay.
Something in the chat. Ash of Spades says, like it or not, July is a liberation through and through. Never thought I would disagree with 3POA. It's fine. I don't care about the guy's politics. I don't care. Whatever his politics are, or what they are, whatever yours are, or what they are. I'm talking specifically about his comic books so far that I've read. I did not like them. I didn't think the quality was there. That's all I'm saying.
So,
don't care about anything else with his politics or anything like that. Okay, go ahead, Sal.
But Steel Mayflex is another one that almost pulled me out. Like that, I had that one on pre-order when I quit collecting, and I canceled it. And because I knew I was like, I like sledgehammers. Steel's my favorite, like Superman out of all of them. And I knew in my heart, I was like, that's going to be such a cool figure. And I didn't get it. Now people are getting it like, this is one of the best figures I've ever handled. I'm like, I fucking knew it. And, but yeah, another one was Cable. Hasbro announced a new Cable that they were going to do in the blue suit. And I was like, Cable's my favorite superhero of all time. And then I was like, cool. I think I even left a comment on the 3POA post. It's like, cool. I was out of retirement, saw the pins, went back into retirement.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, the proportions on that Cable are not good. Like his legs are really small and skinny. Anyway.
Right.
didn't you keep your Mezco cable? Wasn't that one that you like kept because it's your favorite?
I have both Mezco cables still, but they were both on the chopping block. Despite Cable being my favorite character, the only cable that I'm actively keeping is this one.
Oh yeah, man, I had that one. Oops, sorry, I hit the wrong button. I had show that again. I had that when I was a kid. I had that in the orange and blue spacesuit one.
Yeah, the where's he at? I've got him around here somewhere.
Yeah, I love those.
Yeah.
That
Where'd
Toy
he
Biz
go?
line was so great.
He's all the way down there. I'm not reaching for that. But I have all the cable variations for Toy Biz.
Well, hold on,
So-
hold on. I got to address this. Omar, you think you can come in here and disagree with me? Son of a... Mods, get him. Get. Oh, I might still get that cable. Well, actually, I'm going to get it because to me, I need that Build-A-Figure.
Yeah, I don't remember who the
Kazar
build
and-
figure is.
It's the cat.
Oh, right,
Kazar.
yeah.
Yeah,
with the
Zabu.
fucking Zabu, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that they also finally did a fucking Feral in that line. Wrong version
Yeah.
of Feral, but at least they did one.
It's the X-Force one or X-Factor one that I. Yeah. Feral and no, that's the last one for the team, right? Wait, what
think so.
suit? What suit is it? I need to look it up because now I forget.
I think they gave her a blue suit.
The blue and yellow.
Mm-hmm.
See, I haven't pre-ordered any Marvel Legends, and now that they're cutting production, I think, it's Wolfsbane.
Yeah. Oh, is
Tyler
it
Malone says
Wolfsbane?
it's Wolfbane.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's still the wrong version because the Wolfsbane I like is the X-Force one, the black and gray.
The Feral.
Mm. No, Wolfsbane.
Okay.
They're essentially the same fucking person. So, no, the Feral I like. I think the Feral I like has green as her costume. Or that might be a Wolfsbane too. Oh well.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm distracted here.
No, it's
I'm
fine.
looking at other stuff.
I'm getting my fucking superhero wins all mixed up, so I'll continue to look like an idiot while you're doing your thing.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the 3POA is. We hang out and look
Yeah,
like
well,
idiots.
Good.
MCU.
Yeah. It quickly became that.
I totally lost my place on this website, and now I can't find what I was looking for. Oh well, we
Womp.
can move on.
Womp womp. But
Yep.
anyway, is there anything that you're looking forward to? Like any Sal's apartment looks like an apartment, not a toy store. Such a change. Hope the house on. Wesley, I would hope so. The house is still the goal, but I have effectively been priced out of the market here. So
Got to get out of Rhode Island, huh?
I can't. This is where the job is at. So like I could probably move to Connecticut, but then I'm commuting over an hour hour to work every day. Like an hour there and an hour back. So
Gotcha. Got to find a new job then. Yeah. All right. Well, we can wrap this up, man. Yeah, it got to Flip War. I mean, there's already a ton of unlocks for Flip War. There's like the glow in the dark Flip War. There's the all black Flip War. All kinds of stuff is unlocked. There it is. Stealth Flip War unlocked. Gold Flip War unlocked. Glow in the dark unlocked. I don't know if I'm going to get all these, but I did get the base set, the Flip War and 2 Flip Bots. Sal, thanks for joining me tonight, man.
hey, thanks for having me.
You're
I'll
welcome.
be on my A game next time.
You want to stay for an after show?
That'll be the next time, and I'll be on my A game.
Maybe about 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock your time?
Sure. That's like an hour from now, I think. So
Oh,
like
wait.
half an hour.
We're going to
you mean?
daylight
30
savings.
minutes?
Yeah, in like 38 minutes. How about that?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So,
I'll be here, and maybe I'll put some pants on next time.
okay. Channel members, stay tuned for the after show. I appreciate you all for being channel members. You can become one by hitting that join button. I appreciate you all.
It's that easy.
It's that easy.
It's a
See you on the
dollar.
after show. Later.